Welcome to my next Lost Season 6 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important. If you aren't caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching Lost, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, if you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this detailed review any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And full disclosure, I've already seen the TV series Lost 3 other times. It's in my top 5 favorite TV series of all time. So join me and the legendary Crazy Coffeeman, who's actually watching Lost for the first time, in the comment section to discuss this awesome and amazing show. However, I don't want to see any spoilers past this video. So with all that said, this will be Lost Season 6, Episode 6. The title of this episode is called Sundown, and this will be my review reaction recap after just finishing watch the episode. We start with our flash sideways. Saeed is sitting in a cab in Los Angeles. He pays the cabbie and gets out, carrying a bouquet of yellow roses. He walks up to the front door of the house, rings the doorbell, and sees his reflection in the door window. Nadia greets him warmly, as do her 2 children. Saeed's brother, Omir, joins them and half-jokingly confronts Saeed about bringing roses for his wife. Saeed sends the children to get his gifts from Australia in his bag, and then Saeed's brother receives a phone call, declares that dinner is over because the call is business, and leaves the dinner table, much to Nadia's disappointment. Nadia asks whether Saeed got the letters she sent him during his travels. Saeed tells her that he did get them, thus prompting her to ask why he never wrote back. Before he can answer, the children return with their presents, which is boomerangs, as well as a picture of Nadia that the children found in the bag. Omir reappears and watches the scene silently from a doorway. There is evident tension between the 2 brothers. On the island, Dogan calmly reads a book. Saeed barges in his chambers and confronts him about the machine he was hooked up to when they stuck him with needles and said they were testing him. Dogan tells him that for every man there's a scale, and on one side of the scale there's good, and on the other, evil. The machine tells them how the scale is balanced, and that Saeed's scale tipped the wrong way. Dogan admits that he tried to poison Saeed because he thinks it would be best if Saeed were dead. Saeed says that Dogan doesn't know him as well as he thinks. He adds, "I am a good man." And then Dogan actually attacks Saeed, and a vicious fight ensues. Dogan's fighting skills are considerable, and he finally manages to overpower Saeed and pin him down to his desk. As Dogan is about to stab Saeed in the throat, a baseball that he had on his desk rolls off, and the sound of it hitting the ground stays in his hand. With restrained anger, he tells Saeed to leave and never return. The man in black, is John Locke, standing outside the Circle of Ash, sends Claire to the temple with a message for Dogan. She shows some unwillingness and asks him to send Sawyer or Jin or go himself. He simply reminds her that if he could do it himself, he wouldn't be asking her. Claire demands a guarantee that she will have her son back, so the man in black says, "I always do what I say," as she steps over the Circle of Ash. She asks whether he will hurt the temple dwellers. The man in black replies, "Only the ones that won't listen." And then back to our flash sideways. Omir wakes Saeed up in the middle of the night to explain that he is in trouble and needs Saeed's help. He tells Saeed that he borrowed money from a man to open another store, and although he paid the debt back with his life savings, the man is demanding he pay interest for as long as he owns the business. Saeed offers to help with money, but his brother sharply refuses and tells him what he really needs is for Saeed to convince these people to leave. Omir alone. Omir says he knows what kind of man Saeed is, referencing Saeed's past as an Iraqi Republican guard, and pleads for his help because he knows Saeed cares about Nadia and the children. Saeed refuses to help, saying that he is sorry, but he is not that man anymore. And then on the island, Saeed picks up his bag and is ready to walk off when Miles asks what he's doing. Saeed explains that he has been banished from the temple. Saeed wonders why people who now want him dead are the same people who saved his life. Miles corrects him, making it clear to Saeed that he was dead for 2 hours and that whoever brought Saeed back, it wasn't the temple others. Claire comes through the temple doorway as Dogen approaches to say to him, he wants to see you. Dogen speaks to Lennon in Japanese, but Claire tells him to speak English, and Dogen refuses to go, saying that he is not a fool and that if he steps outside the temple, the man in black would kill him. Claire suggests he sends someone that the man in black won't kill, and then Dogen tells Lennon to have Claire thrown into a pit to have Shepard and Reyes brought to him. Lennon says that they can't be found. Dogen says to Lennon, try harder. And then he turns to Saeed and asks him to follow him. Saeed says, I thought you wanted me to leave. And Dogen says that things have changed. Dogen unearths a card box from a plant pot, which he cleans and opens, revealing a ceremonial dagger. He explains to Saeed that Claire is a confused girl under the influence of an angry man, that this man has been trapped for years but is free now that Jacob is gone, and that he will not stop until he has destroyed every living thing on the island. He says that the man is evil incarnate, and then Dogen gives Saeed the dagger, warning him that this person is going to appear to him under the guise of someone Saeed knows and who died, and Saeed should stab him in the chest before giving him any chance to talk. As Saeed wonders why he should do that, all that for Dogen, Dogen tells him that it's his chance to prove that he is a good person. Back to our flash sideways, Saeed walks the children to the school bus. After he sends them off, Nadia rushes out of the house, yelling to Saeed that Omir is in the hospital and is seriously injured. The two arrive at St. Sebastian Hospital, passing by Dr. Jack Shepard, reviewing a medical chart. A doctor says Omir has a punctured lung and that he claims he was mugged. Upon hearing this, Saeed tells Nadia to wait at the hospital because he is leaving. She detects that Saeed is going to seek revenge for Omir and begs him not to do it. She pleadingly asks him to return to the house and look after the children. Back to the island, Saeed leaves the temple and comes upon Kate, who asks what happened at the temple. Saeed says that she should ask Miles. Kate soon arrives at the temple and is led inside, finding Miles playing solitaire. He asks her whether Sawyer had sent her packing, and she uncomfortably has to admit it. He says that he wanted to follow Sawyer too, but he was sure that he would be the outcome for him too. Then he tells her that Claire appeared in the temple and was taken away by the temple others. Saeed hears and feels the strange rustling of powerful breeze accompanied by the sounds of the smoke monster in the undergrowth, and as suddenly Locke appears behind him as the man in black says, "Hello, Saeed." Saeed rushes and plunges the dagger in his chest, and he steps back puzzled as the man in black contemplates the dagger in his chest and asks, "Now why'd you go and do that?" The man in black seems unfazed and pulls the bloodless dagger out, offering it back to Saeed. Saeed takes the dagger cautiously and asks him, "What are you?" A question the man in black disregards, wondering what the others told Saeed he was so that Saeed might attack him. Saeed tells him that they said he was evil incarnate, to which the man in black chuckles and explains to Saeed that Dugan knew that Saeed had no chance of killing him, and that Dogen was trying to get Saeed killed by the man in black after the failed attempt. The man in black then prompts Saeed to admit that this is not the first time Dogen has tried to get someone else to kill Saeed. Saeed asks Locke what it is that he is trying to talk Saeed into. The man in black answers he just wants Saeed to deliver a message. Building an incentive for Saeed, he says that he can get Saeed anything he wants, anything in the entire world. Saeed replies that the only thing he ever wanted died in his arms, and that he will never see it again. Would that be Shannon? I think. The man in black seals the deal by theoretically asking, "What if you could?" Back to our flash sideways. That evening, Nadia returns home. Saeed is repairing a vase broken by the children playing with the boomerang. Nadia reports that Omir is recovering from surgery and is awake. She makes it clear that she knows about the loan and believes dealing with it is solely Omir's responsibility as he brought the trouble on himself. She confronts Saeed about the picture of her from his bag, asking him why he pushed her towards his brother if he has been carrying a picture of her for so long, an obvious indicator that Saeed has always had feelings for her. Saeed explains that he had spent 12 years dealing with the guilt for all the horrible things he did while a soldier. Finally, he explains that he cannot be with Nadia because he does not deserve her. Back on the island, Saeed returns to the temple and publicly announces that the man in the jungle has sent him with a message. That Jacob is dead, so none of the temple dwellers have to stay here anymore, and that they are free. He says that the man is leaving the island forever, and that those who want to go with him should join him before sundown and be saved, or stay and die. This seems to upset Cindy, Zach, and Emma, all of whom had been listening curiously. Lennon finds Kate looking for Claire and wants to question her about Sawyer and Jin, but after Kate pins Lennon to the wall and demands to see Claire, he allows Kate 2 minutes to speak with her and leads Kate to the pit. Claire is at the bottom of a pit, muttering and singing Catch a Falling Star to herself. Kate greets Claire, who takes a while to recognize Kate. She explains that they have her in the pit because they took Aaron, but Kate explains that it is she who took Aaron because they couldn't find her, and she raised him off the island to Claire's evident chagrin. When Kate says that she returned to the island to rescue Claire so she can go back to Aaron, Claire obviously responds, "I'm not the one who needs rescuing." Kate is taken away by Lennon. Claire calls out after her, "He's coming, Kate! He's coming," and they can't stop him. A large group of temple dwellers are preparing to depart following Saeed's warning, despite the objections of Lennon, who shouts that the temple is safe. Cindy reminds Lennon that Jacob is dead and claims that if it isn't safe anymore, they can't take the risk. She then departs along with Zach and Emma, the two from the original episode. Miles rushes up to Saeed and asks whether they should escape, but Saeed says he first needs to return Dugan's dagger. Back to our flash sideways, as Saeed is leaving Omir and then Nadia's home, a black SUV pulls up. Omir gets out of the vehicle and asks Saeed if he is going to pick up the kids. A second man exits from the vehicle as Omir asks Saeed to get in the car. Saeed appears to assess the situation, so Omir offers the alternative of picking up the kids together. Saeed complies and is taken to a restaurant kitchen. A man is cooking eggs with his back turned, and this man is actually Martin Keamy, who is in season 4 of Lost, the person that killed Alex in front of Benjamin Linus. Keamy mockingly asks Saeed about his brother's condition after being mugged. Keamy says that it is good that Omir is still around to take care of his family, and theoretically asks Saeed if Saeed also wants to take care of Omir's family. Saeed nods. Keamy proceeds to tell Saeed about Omir's debt, and when Saeed answers that Omir told him that he already paid in full, Keamy replies that he still owes him money. Saeed then asks Keamy if he put his brother in the hospital, and as Keamy nonchalantly denies it, Saeed hits Omir, grabs his gun, and uses him as a human shield. The other henchmen fire and kill Omir, and Saeed shoots the second henchman and points his gun at Keamy. Keamy nervously tries to negotiate his life by forgiving the debt and asking Saeed to forget about the whole thing. Saeed says he cannot forget and shoots him. Then he hears banging noises coming from a walk-in freezer and finds Jin, gagged, beaten, and tied up. Saeed pulls off the tape over Jin's mouth, and Jin shouts in Korea, "Don't kill me! Please, let me live!" Not understanding what he is saying. Saeed asks, "Who are you?" And Jin replies, "No English." Dogan is contemplating and examining the baseball. Saeed confronts him, wondering why he had tried to get him killed by the other people instead of doing it with his own hands. And Dugan reveals his history. I keep saying the wrong one now. Dogan reveals his history, saying that he once was a successful banker in, Okazai, and then had a 12-year-old son who enjoyed playing baseball. After his promotion at the bank, Dogen's co-workers took him out for celebratory drinks, and Dogen had too much to drink, after which he went to pick up his son from a baseball game that they had a very bad car accident, which he survived. He is vague about whether his son died or was seriously injured. In the hospital, Dogen was approached by a man he had never met, Jacob, who offered him a bargain. The boy's life could be saved, but only if Dogen would come to the island to work and that he could never see his boy again. Saeed sympathetically reflects that Jacob drives a hard bargain and that Dogen wonders whether the man outside offered a similar bargain to Saeed. Then, noticing that it is sundown, he asks Saeed whether he will choose to stay or go. Saeed replies that he would like to stay, but suddenly tackles Dogen and leaps him into the pool, holding him down until he drowns. Lennon rushes in to berating Saeed, saying that Dogen was the only thing keeping him out, and Saeed says, "I know," and swiftly slits Lennon's throat with the dagger, throwing his body into the smoke. The smoke monster then invades the temple, overwhelming the others that remain, killing everyone in its path, causing havoc. Kate and Miles rush to escape, but are separated when Kate goes to rescue Claire. Miles tries to barricade himself in the storeroom. Despite his efforts to block the door, it is forced open by Ilana, who Miles is meeting for the first time, followed by Frank Lapidus, Sun, and Ben. So now everybody's on the same island. They're all in the same time frame. Sun and Jin are in the same place. Well, not the same place, but on the same part. Anyway, Ilana asks him where Shepard, Reyes, and Ford are, but Miles states he's the only one left. Miles is surprised to see Frank Lapidus present, but the latter quickly reminds him there will be time for explanation later. Ilana asks whether Saeed is here, and Miles states that he is by the pool. Ben immediately leaves, saying he'll get him despite Ilana's plea to stay together. Kate returns to the pit where Claire is being kept, telling her that she will get her out, but Claire rejects Kate's offer, saying that they'll be much safer in the pit. The smoke monster sweeps into the chamber by forcing Kate to grab the rope, steps, and dangle in the pit while the smoke monster barrels over her. Kate watches the monster rushing by, terrified yet entranced, while Claire looks up, also entranced. Ben finds Saeed sitting near the pool, contemplating. When Ben tells Saeed to come with him, saying that there is still time to escape, Saeed calmly replies, "Not for me," and offers Ben a sinister smile. Ben sees the bodies of Dogen and Lennon, then backs away in fear and rushes out. Miles asks Sun where Jin is, and Sun, stunned to learn that Jin is alive and nearby. Ilana looks for the doorway symbol, and the same one that Hurley used. Finding it, she opens the passage, allowing the group, minus Ben, to escape before the smoke monster, thunders down the passageway. Saeed and Claire emerge into the ruined courtyard of the temple, which is with bodies of slain temple others. Kate follows them, picking up a rifle from one of the dead. Rain falls as Saeed and Claire join the man in black, who stands outside the temple, flanked by 15 of the others who have joined his side. Following last, Kate is stunned as the first time seeing the man in black in form of the deceased John Locke. The man in black receives Saeed and Claire with self-satisfied expression. Turning to Kate, the man in black momentarily gazes at her as if surprised at her presence, then turns and leads his group, whom Kate begins to follow away, and that's what ends this episode of Lost. So I'm going to score it an 8.6 out of 10. Saeed is obviously the character of the episode, and Dogen is the secondary character. So you've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Lost and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you Hulk smash the like button, share the video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode. What would you rate it? Who would be your characters of the episode? Remember, you'll be interacting with me and the legendary Crazy Coffee Man. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel. Help me get over 100K subscribers. Join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDevTV.